he is invisible. Okay? So he is a spirit. But even though he is a spirit, whenever he is referenced, he's referenced personally. In chapter 14, verse 16, that he may be with you, that you might see him, and on and on. So I'm telling you this is foundational, stay with me. The Holy Spirit is a person to be known, not just a force to be utilized. It's very important. He is a person to be known, not merely a force being utilized. He is not Casper the Friendly Ghost. He is a person. The attributes of personhood are intellect, a person thinks, emotions, a person feels, and volition or will, a person chooses. We will see as we go along in this series the feelings of the Holy Spirit, the thinking of the Holy Spirit, the choosing of the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is a him, that is a person. Many people want the Spirit's power and want the Spirit's presence who don't want to relate to the Spirit's person. And when you pursue his power and presence but not want to deal with his person, then you miss who he is. So he is a him, that is, he bears the attributes of personhood. Jesus is about to leave. He says in chapter 14, I am going to ask the Father, and he will give you another helper. Jesus says, I'm leaving, but I'm going to send you somebody just like me. I'm going to send you a replacement on earth, because I'm leaving and going to heaven, a replacement on earth for me. And this replacement will be the helper in my absence. Jesus is now seated on the right-hand side of the Father. When the disciples were with Jesus on earth, they had help. Help in their struggles, help in their pain, help in their fears, help in their failures, because Jesus was always there to help them. Now he is leaving. He says, even though I am leaving, I am not going to let you live without help. And the help I send you will be of the same nature as if I was still physically with you. He is help of the same kind, or help of the same essence. So this Parakletos, this helper, has been prescribed by Jesus to replace Jesus in Jesus' physical absence with his followers. Please notice chapter 14, verse 18. I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. Jesus, you're leaving us. He says, no, I'm not going to leave you as an orphan. I'm not going to make you parentless. I'm going to come to you. But the way I'm going to come to you is not physically. I'm leaving and going to be with my Father. I'm going to come to you by means of the Holy Spirit. So the Holy Spirit is the way you get to Jesus, because the Holy Spirit is of the same essence as Jesus to replace physical Jesus until physical Jesus comes back at his second coming. Now, please notice something in verse 17 of chapter 14, and I know we're being somewhat didactic teaching today because These are concepts that I want you to grasp and understand and then utilize. He says in verse 17, that is the Spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive because it does not see him or know him. But you know him because he abides with you and will be in you. He tells you there two things you need to know if you are a Christian about the Holy Spirit. It says he will abide with you and will be in you. So he says the Holy Spirit, the third member of the Trinity, will have a twofold connection to you as a Christian. He will be with you while simultaneously being in you. Being with you means a companion beside you. He's going to walk with you, roll with you, drive with you, go to work with you. He is going to abide. Abide means to hang out. He's going to hang out with you. He's going to be your road buddy. He's going to be your posse. He's going to be with you. But not only will he be alongside of you, he is also going to be inside of you. He is alongside of you while simultaneously being inside of you. So he's walking with you and he is inside of you. So he is in both relationships at the same time. So this Holy Spirit makes sure that you're not an orphan. Therefore, something I have to remind myself here recently, you are never, ever, ever, never by yourself. Never. Because he is by you and in you. Okay? So that is who he is, but he's a spirit, so he is not visible. He is not for the five senses, and we'll explain that. But he is there to bring you support. Acts 9:31 calls it the comfort of the Holy Spirit, to come alongside and help a brother out. His job is to bring what Jesus would bring if Jesus were here. The way Jesus is with you, the way Jesus is in you, is through the work of the Holy Spirit. Another use of the word parakletos is advocate or lawyer in a courtroom. A lawyer pleads your case. Another benefit of the Holy Spirit is to plead your case or come to your defense, as a lawyer would do in a courtroom. He says he is your parakletos. He is the one who comes alongside of you. The Bible talks about him being your guide. He will guide you into all truth. So you want him near and you want him in because of all the decisions you have to make, that you have to be led in the right way to make. It says he is an intercessor in Romans chapter 8, verses 26 and 27. He knows how to pray with you and for you, even when you run out of words and can only say, So he is all that because he bears all the attributes of deity. So the Holy Spirit, the third member of the Trinity, is the way Jesus hangs out with you right now. You're not alone. You're not by yourself, because he is there if you are a believer in Jesus Christ. Now, having established who he is, having established what he does, the question is, how do I activate, if you will, his presence so that I know he's there? I know it because God says it, but I also want to know it because I experience it. Okay? So how do I experience the Holy Spirit rather than merely know about the Holy Spirit? How do I connect with the Spirit so that Jesus' reality is being experienced by me, since the job of the Spirit is to bring me the experience of Jesus in my life? First of all, you must develop an intimate fellowship with the person of the Holy Spirit. I said it already. Don't just go for his power, go for his person. It says he abides with you. Abides with you. The word abide, hang out, loiter. In other words, the Spirit doesn't want to be visited, he wants to hang out. He wants to roll with you as a lifestyle. He wants to know that you want to be with him, because he wants to be with you. That's why the Bible talks about in Galatians 5, walk in the Spirit. In other words, as you move throughout life, walking has to do with the course of your life. What do you do when you walk? First of all, you're moving, you're going somewhere. Where do I need to be going if I want the Spirit to be activated in my life? You must be going to the will of God, because that's where the Holy Spirit goes, okay? So I want to walk in the will of God. I want to walk to please God. Secondly, walking involves dependency. When I walk, I put one foot in front of another, and I put all my weight on that leg for that step. So I am depending on my leg to hold my weight. So walking means I'm going to the destination.